Hello. So, Bill, can we start?
Yes, we can start.
Okay, all right. So, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam Malaysia Madani and Salam Sarawakku sayang. Hello and everyone, and it is a pleasure having you today, especially during this Ramadan month. I hope it is not too late for me to wish everyone selamat menyambut Ramadan Mubarak. Okay, for today's webinar is organized by Association of Professional Technicians and Technologies, APTT, and I'm Noor Adziella binti Mohamad, your moderator for today. Okay, for our schedule today, we have our invited speaker, Technology Stephen Anak Henry, with his topic, the importance of calibration in measurement. Then we will have a Q&A session after his presentation. We will also have certificate ceremony and also photo session right after. Okay. Therefore, I hope everyone would stay until the end of this webinar. Just a little housekeeping before we get started. Kindly be reminded that mic should be muted at all times. Switch off your camera and recording is not allowed. If you have any question during the presentation, please type your questions in the chat box. I believe everyone is very active just now. Okay, so our team will compile all questions and we will bring it up at the end. Okay, so before we started, I would like to introduce today's presenter. TS Stephen Anak Henry is currently serving as an NME engineer with Sirim Calibration Sdn Bhd. Before, he works as an M&E engineer with Pekerjaan Piasau Concrete Sdn Bhd. He obtained his bachelor degree in electrical engineering technology in industrial power with University Technical Malaysia Melaka in 2016, diploma in electronic engineering at Polytechnic Kuching Sarawak in 2011, certificate in electrical and electronic engineering from Polytechnic Kuching, Mukah Sarawak in 2009. Technology Steve Anak Henry has a 6 years working experience, and his working experience are mainly in calibration and testing in electrical and mechanical scope, measurement uncertainty, and also in asset maintenance. His outstanding and excellence performance has awarded him with few awards by his company, such as Focus Recognition Award by CEO, and also achieving 90% turnaround time from 2018 until present. Technologist Steve Anak Henry is a professional technologist in electrical and electronics under Malaysian Board of Technologies, and he is also an engineering technologist in electrical and electronic under Board of Engineer Malaysia. So now, without further ado, we will turn the time over to our presenter, Technologist Stephen Anak Henry, with his topic, the importance of calibration in measurement. Over to you.
All right, thank you very much to Ms. Adziella, our coordinator. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us this evening on our topic regarding the importance of calibration. Okay, before I share my... Okay, so just something. So everyone did heard about SIRIP. So when asked what is actually SIRIM, most of them will say, oh SIRIM, actually there's a sticker dekat plug. And some of them also say, oh SIRIM, it's about audit. Alamak, so you need to prepare something. Okay, so both are true. Yes, actually we do have this two thing. And not only that, today just introduction of what is actually SIRIM calibration. This not might take long, maybe around 10 minutes. Okay, so what is actually SIRIM calibration? Okay, so SIRIM calibration is established on 1994. Okay, we started in Selangor, our HQ there, 1994. By the time we joint venture with SIRIM Berhad and Sangabi. So on 2013, we are wholly owned by SIRIM Berhad, and until now. Okay, so at the moment we have provide more than 40,000 calibration certificate per year, and has been provide service to more than 3,000 company per year. So this is our branches Sirim calibration. So our HQ at Shah Alam in southern region of Peninsula Malaysia is Johor, followed by Kuantan and Penang on the northern area. And in Borneo, we have Kuching. So our office located at Demak Laut here. So we started on 2001, and recently we try to establish our Sabah branch. So starting from 2022. So by this year, we actually uh, do recruit technician so that we can conduct the jobs at Sabah without calling our team from any other branches to go to Sabah. Okay. So what do service that we provide? Okay. So besides calibration, our main services. We also do this verification. We also provide customized training more on technical sides. Of course, we also provide on-site calibration as well as collection and delivery as per requested by customer. So usually collection and delivery we do for those who are sending quite a lot of equipment, bulky quantity. So that's when we can arrange this transportation for collection and delivery. Okay, so as you can see, there is no perfect measurement. No matter how good your equipment is, your measuring equipment is, there is no perfect measurement that can be done. In general, no measurement is perfect, and the imperfections give rise to the error of measurement in the result. That's why you need calibration, because it is essential for measuring tools so that it ensures the accuracy of measuring tools. Okay, so this is our focus industry in automotive, oil and gas, telecommunication, education, utility, agriculture, manufacturing, healthcare, aviation, construction, defense, and semiconductor and electronic, and so on. As you all know, Cerium Calibration is one of the largest accredited lab in Malaysia. At the moment, out of 6 branches, only one is not yet accredited, which is in Sabah, because we are just develop the laboratory. Okay, so these are the our capability calibration. So as you can see here, this is our electrical capability, and as well as radio frequency. For your information, we can our radio frequency lab capable to generate up to 40 gigahertz and measure signal up to 50 gigahertz. This is the capability for a dimensional lab and temperature lab as well. It is our pressure, mass volumetric, and density. This is for torque and force laboratory. Okay, so this is the proof that we are the accredited lab. So we are awarded this certificate of accreditation. On the left side here on the screen, so this is our HQ same number certificate of accreditation. So as you can see, it's same number 088. Okay, so if you want to look about our scope that we cover, especially on the accredited lab, so you can log in to this JSM, Jabatan Standard Malaysia, or DSM, Department Standard Malaysia. So you go to this accredited and type our name. So then you can see the list of our branches there, the same number, and as well as the number of our SEC. Okay. Oh, if you you also can log into our websites and look for the column of accreditation and recognition. From there, you can find our SEC number and our accredited scope based on our branches. Okay. So these are the equipment brands that we calibrated. So usually at this time being, as long as the equipment that can make it, yes, this is actually the brand that is well done. and not to mention that not non-brand as well. So we can calibrate with this one, and as well as the Internet of Things device and 5G industry. So this is actually equipment for our RF testing lab. Okay, as you can see, we also have the capability to calibrate the current 5G. Okay, last time we can do up to 4G, but due to our advancement on the technology, so we do have invest in this 5G RF standard equipment. Okay, so these are the equipment Network Master Pro handheld signal analyzer. This is also the example of this signal analyzer and signal generator. As you can see here, this is a network analyzer, and this is a connectivity test set. Okay, this is the verification the RF shield box. So this is we do verification not for this is only can be done in lab, while this type of equipment we can do both, not only in lab, but we also can come to the users laboratory to conduct the calibration. Okay, so so far we have been this is our a big project and still ongoing. So Proton has been loyal with us since 1995. Okay, and at the moment we have this Tenaga Nasional, Makmal Kesehatan Awam, we have Produa, Petronas. Okay, so it includes as well as Petronas at Bintulu, Malaysia LNG. Okay, and ExxonMobil, Wood Group Engineering Berhad, Panasonic, MMHE. Okay, so in Sarawak we also have our biggest customer here. For example, like Tire Yuden. So starting before the Kuching branch is established, they have already have been with us until now. And of course, Press Metal Bintulu and Press Metal Sarawak as well. Okay, so this is our new capabilities, calibration of a thermographic camera and industrial infrared thermometer. Okay, this is important, especially those who are involved in maintenance team. Okay, so it is very crucial for you to know the condition of your measuring devices. And this is also our new capabilities, coordinate measuring machine, it's called CMM. So these can calibrate aircraft propeller blades, jigs, and fixtures. Okay, so with this accuracy, as you can see below the screen at the below left there, so its accuracy can measure up to 1.8 plus L divided by 333 micrometer. So micro can imagine how small decimal it is. You can produce how accurate is it. Okay, so we are going to the. I hope you understand. And you can maybe later you can ask about what service regarding our service and serum calibration. Okay, so this is the topic this evening: the importance of calibration measurement. Okay, so what is measurement? Before we go into our topic calibration, so we need to know what is actually measurement. Measurement is set of operation having the object of determining the value of a quantity. Okay, so set of operation means the procedure. Okay, so the procedure must be established before you can conduct any measurement. Without this procedure, it is not valid for you to conduct any measurement. Okay, value means magnitude or numeral expression. This is also a crucial point because if you don't have any value, then the measurement is nothing. Okay, even though you have the procedure. And the third one is the quantity. Okay, the quantity is referred to the measurement unit. It can be a meter, it can be a kilometer, it can be a centimeter, mm, kilogram, ampere, volt, and so on. this is what it means by a quantity. Okay, so this three is actually the keywords for what is a measurement. Sets of operation having the object of determining the value of quantity. Okay, so in measurement, there are 7 base units that we need to know. Okay, number 1 is for mass. So its base unit is kilogram. Temperature is Kelvin. Time is second. For current is ampere. Amount of substance is mole. Luminous intensity is candela. And length is meter. Other than these 7 units are actually derived unit. As you can see, as we use daily units, is for example, degree Celsius, or maybe like a gram, or maybe kilometers. Okay, so these are the derived unit. So derived unit is actually it's good for us to make it's actually a simpler application. For example, this Kelvin. So actually, this someone asked, why didn't we use unit Kelvin? Okay, so unit Kelvin is actually used by those who are doing research. So we cannot, in the daily life, we cannot use Kelvin because you need to derive the unit and do some calculation. Then you can get the true value of this temperature. So it's diceckan lah if you use this Kelvin. So it's so these people has already derived the unit, which is more simpler and more understandable, which is a degree Celsius, so that we can use it in daily life. Okay. In measurement, there are 3 types of measurement. Okay. So this includes number 1, verification. Number 2 is testing, and number 3, of course, today's topic, calibration. So what are the verification? Verification is required for non-standard methods, standard method used outside their scope, or modified method. It is a comparison between the results against equipment certification. The report usually issued once verification complete. Okay, for this example, okay, let's say you have this machine that needs to run at 30 degrees Celsius. Then you have this 1 unit of infrared thermometer to measure is it your equipment that runs at 30 degree is exactly 30 degrees. Then you check, okay, so your display at infrared thermometer is 30 degrees and the equipment is 30 degrees. Then it's mean, okay, this machine is pass, okay, as it conduct, it is operate as per its specs 30 degrees Celsius. Then the report will issue. That is a verification. Or it can say in your report, it usually state pass or fail. Okay. And second thing is testing. Testing is a determination, the determination of one or more characteristic of a given product, process, or service according to specified procedure. Testing also includes samples, and the test report usually issued one verification is complete. Okay, so this is testing means. Okay, so is there there is a testing, there must be a sample. These two things cannot be separated. So once the sample is there, then the other product can be used. For your information as well, one of our subsidiaries, which is Sirim QAS International, these subsidiaries are doing testing. So the testing also include this material testing as well, starting from steel testing or soil testing. Even we can test this pintu kecemasan and anything regarding testing. So we also CMQS also did some verification on that. Okay. So and the last one is calibration. So calibration is the sets of operation which establish under specified condition the relationship between values indicated by a measuring instrument or system or values represented by a material measure and the corresponding known value of a measured. Okay, so calibration certificate is issued once the calibration complete. Okay, the set of operation which establish means the procedure. Okay, this procedure is very important. So establish means the procedure is based on the international guideline. Okay, so under specified condition. So every laboratory is must do have its specific unique uh, environmental control. Okay, for example, electrical environmental control cannot be the same as a dimensional control because of its property of the equipment. For example, the dimensional control, since it's calibrate most of the steel equipment, it cannot be too hot or too cold because it will changes the property of the equipment itself. Because in BM we say it if it's too hot it will be mengembang, that it's very cold, the equipment, the property of will be mengecut. So it will make error in the equipment. So that's why based on these international standards, we are setting up this environmental control with specified condition. Okay, so the relationship between values indicated by a measuring instrument or system, or values represented by a material measure. So this long term is actually means the user equipment. Okay, so the user equipment must be there, and the corresponding known values of measurement. Okay, so this means the value. What are the things that we need to calibrate? Is it electrical equipment? So in electrical one, what are the value of it? Is it its current? Is it its voltage? Or in dimensional? So usually in dimensional, we are calibrated using the millimeter or micrometer, or in temperature, it is degrees Celsius. Okay, so once all this complete, and the calibration certificate will be issued. Okay, why calibration is important? Okay, so number one, it is to ensure accurate and precise measurement. So once you calibrate your equipment, you will be able to determine how much error on your equipment, and therefore you can do a correction on it. And as well as the drift. Drift is to ensure that you understand your equipment characteristic. From this drift as well, you can determine how much the reading from last year changes until this year. And it is better for you if you can do on your own maintenance. If you have your calibration certificate, you create your own drift, maybe from the data from the past 5 years until now. And from that time, you can see how much your equipment drift. Is it still in between the manufacturer spec that we call MPE, maximum permissible error. Okay, so this is the important thing. So that when you can determine all of these things, then your equipment is more accurate and precise. Number two is to improve productivity. Okay, when you can measure accurate reading, send the product a book design with minimal error, and this will reduce operational costs. Okay, let me give you this sample. Last year we go to the P4 Syrian area. So there's a company there who actually doing this eggs, chicken egg. So this factory is actually have this automated machine that dividing eggs based on in grade by using its weight. Okay, for example, if the chicken eggs is weight 80 gram until 70 gram, it is considered a grade A, or 60 to 50 grade, it is considered grade B. Okay, so imagine that because of the equipment, measurement equipment, that this factory is not calibrated. When they measure their balance, actually there's an automated balance there. Okay, so it's read 70 gram, but actually it's not 70 gram. It's actually 69. So imagine that, okay? So this factory have lost a lot of grade A eggs because it measure less than 70 gram, less than 70 gram. So there, because of this loss, the company has to do another things to make sure the company is more profitable, or maybe who knows, they give this OT to people, end up they the people will tired or something like that. Okay, so but with this right measurement, so the product built designed with very minimal error and reduce operational costs. Okay, so number three is to ensure efficiency. This efficiency will reduce time consuming and as well increase your product lifespan. And number four is to, of course, the very most important thing is improving safety. So it will prevent risk of injury and to prevent unnecessary business loss. Okay, so one of the example that I can give you is for this pressure relief valve. So usually, if I'm not mistaken, any tank, is it a boiler tank or steam tank, they must have this pressure relief valve (PRT). Okay, imagine that this pressure relief valve must relieve its pressure on 300 psi, but because it is not calibrated, then it has some error. So because of this error, the tank will explode, and there's a injury happen there. And because of this injury, the factory need to shut down and going for the investigation. So what is actually happened? Okay, so this is the most important thing. Why is calibration is more important? And of course, so this popular why calibration is important is another popular is because of the audit. So some of you get caught by the auditor. So they put NCR there, then you need to close the NCR and then you send the item for calibration. So that is really happen. It's happened, but not that much because we believe our quality team did do their job very well. Okay. uh, there's actually four important things in calibration. Okay, so number one, traceability. Traceability of measurement is the chain or link between equipment under test to its reference, and this reference to the national and international standards. Okay, so this traceability is important so that we know uh, your equipment is calibrated by who, and by equipment is calibrated by who, in which. So it's just like a pyramid. So the lowest is the user equipment, and the second tier is the laboratory, calibration laboratory, and the third tier above there is actually this national standard, and the top one is national standards. So in Malaysia, uh, our highest meteorology institute is at Sepang there. We call it National Meteorology Institute of Malaysia, NMIM. So these are our highest standard. So for your information as well, in Malaysia, we, if I'm not mistaken, we did keep one weight which is 2 kilo, I think. So this 2 kilogram is actually used by the international standard as well. So often will be a post for another lab to calibrate their weight balance. Okay. So number two is a procedure, the set of theoretical and practical operation in detailed terms involved in the performance of calibration according to a given method. Okay. This procedure also is very important so that we know what is to do and what action should we take, both in theoretical and of course practical, which means during the calibration is done. And number three, as I mentioned just now, the environment. This refer to the laboratory environmental condition. The facility and environmental condition shall be suitable for the laboratory activities and shall not adversely affect the validity of result. Okay, these are mentioned in ISO 17025 2017 clause 6 uh, 3.1. So if you look at this clause, this is especially for those who have this calibration laboratory. Every calibration lab must comply this rule. If not, then they need to stop the operation immediately because the result of the measurement for calibration is not valid. Okay, and of course, after the calibration has done, then the data result certificate will be issued. So this certificate act as a birth certificate for this equipment, or maybe every years or every 2 years, depend on user requirement. They will renew it every year or maybe every 2 years. Okay, so calibration method. So usually there are two types of calibration method that I use. Number one is a comparison. So this is a common normal calibration method. So this comparison means your user equipment and the standard equipment. So while doing calibration, this equipment will be compared. The reading from this user equipment will be compared to the standard equipment. And number two is simulation. Simulation means we inject the signal. So simulation usually used for those who have this electronic or electrical equipment. So simulation is the best way to do it. So as you can see, there's a RF equipment as well from this previous slide. That also we can do a simulation. So what are the types of simulation? So we have two types of simulation on calibration. So number one is we use calibration standard as a source. Means we inject this standard inject a signal through a user equipment. So for example, if we inject 600 volt, then the user display, then we read the reading from the user equipment. So how much is it 600 volt or not? And number two is UUT, means unit under test, which is the user equipment as a source, whereby this UUT will inject the signal through our standard, and then we'll see what are the readings. Okay, so not all of the equipment can do this. User equipment can do sourcing. Maybe quite few, yes, in the coaching, yeah. But of course, there's a lot of equipment there. But then so far in coaching, based on my experience, there's not much equipment to be used as a source. Okay, so this year are the international standard. This is actually our guidelines to create a revision procedure. So this is GIS, Japanese International Standard, ASTM, American Society for Testing Material, British Standard, and Euromed. From this international guideline, we can create a procedure. So you can choose either which is the best or the convenience for you to follow for the calibration procedure. Okay. One of the most important thing as well in calibration is measurement uncertainty. Okay, for this measurement uncertainty, I will not go into too deep because measurement uncertainty is a quite large topic actually. If you talk about this one day, it's also not enough because it's needs a lot of calculation, a lot of understanding what is a degree of freedom and so on. Okay, so I will not talk too deep into this. Okay, so just want to need what are the measurement uncertainty, why it's affect our measurement. Okay, what is measurement uncertainty? So the doubt which exists about any measurement, and be always be reminded that measurement uncertainty is not error. Error is actually the comparison between the two reading, but the measurement uncertainty is not the comparison of the meaning. It is because the calculation is actually the error not to say the error. This is actually because of this doubt that we receive. So there come the measurement uncertainty to make sure that the measurement is become more and more at to accurate level. Okay, not to say 100% accurate, but it will go to that one to erase this doubt. Yes, say that. Okay. So I give you the example. What is actually? I hope you can understand this example of this measuring uncertainty. Okay. So there's a 3% are required to measure steel block. Okay. Technician A, steel block are measured using a 30 cm ruler. Okay. From his measurement, the steel block is 120 centimeter long. And then there's a technician B. Steel block are measured using 2-meter tape with 0.01 meter resolution. From his measurement, the steel block is 126 centimeter long. Okay. And technician C. Steel block are measured using a tape with measurement uncertainty plus minus 0.5. Procedure is performed several times to calculate average and find the standard deviation. From his measurement, the steel block is 124.5 cm long. Okay, so as these three examples, I think you can see how much the difference that measurement uncertainty can make. Okay, and of course, with the right measurement measuring equipment, you can get the right reading too, get the right measurement reading too. Okay, and of course, the technician C will produce the more accurate equipment, even though I didn't give the exact length of this steel block. So there's but I believe you can see that these three different, you know, which equipment and which technician can measure more accurate. Okay, so what are the MBU component? What are the measurement uncertainty component? What are the types of the doubt that exist in our measurement? Okay, number one, you can see type A. So what are the type A? And also there's a type B. What are the type B measurement uncertainty? So type A measurement uncertainty is a measurement repeatability. Sorry. Okay. This means that this measurement is taken up to until 5 times, 10 times. The more is better. Then after that, you do this average. And after doing average, you did some standard deviation on that. That is a measurement, type A measurement uncertainty, the one that we did for calibration. And type B is a standard uncertainty. Even though the state is used to calibrate the user equipment, please be reminded as well. Standard also have its measurement uncertainty. Standard equipment also do have its error and need to do correction. That's why the standard equipment has their uncertainty. So from this uncertainty, we call it a type B measurement uncertainty. And number two is a standard drift. If you can recall just now, drift means the previous year's MU reading. So how much the difference from last year reading and this year reading, and it's applied as a measurement uncertainty on type B. And number three is UUT resolution, unit under test resolution. Unit under test resolution means the user's equipment. For example, if your read can up to 1 decimal, which is 0.1, then that is your type B measurement uncertainty. It can read to 0.01, and that is your UUT measurement uncertainty. Okay, so these two types is actually the basic measurement uncertainty that must have in every measurement. Of course, there's another type B as well. It means there's a few. It might be the temperature around you. It might be because of the drift. It might be because of the gravity effect and so on. Okay. Please bear in mind, this is the basic as the starter of the measurement uncertainty. The most important thing. So there are four. Okay. So of course there are more. That is actually based on which equipment or laboratory. Okay. And what is calibration? Then after the calibration is done, then you will be issued for the certificate, calibration certificate. Okay. What is a calibration certificate? It is a set of documents that contain information of calibrate equipment. A certificate issued once the calibration process complete. It contains information such as user's information, certificate number, job number, equipment information, traceability, calibration result, and so on. This information is very important so that you know your characteristic of equipment and you know the info of your equipment. Okay. So this is the example of our calibration certificate. So this is a coaching calibration certificate. As you can see, there's our number there. Okay, so I'm gonna teach you how to read this calibration certificate. Okay, this is just for example only. Okay, so as at least if you have another doing a calibration with another laboratories, then actually you know a few things that before this you might not know. Okay, so number one, the most is the same and ANAK logo. Okay, so which means this certificate, this mercury English thermometer is accredited, calibrated by accredited lab. So it's under its accreditation scope. Okay, so as you can see, that's a number, same number there, 533. Okay, which means our accredited lab number is according to TSM is 533. Okay, so the ILAC logo means if you want to measure the equipment outside Malaysia, yes, you can, which means your equipment is not only can be used in Malaysia, but it can use internationally. So no problem with that. You can use it anywhere in Africa, in maybe in Japan, or in maybe in Russia and so on. Okay. So next is the date of issuance. So when the certificate is issued. Okay. So this means that once the job is complete, then we will key in the data and we generate the certificate. So that's when the date of the certificate is issued means the job is complete on that day. So this certificate number means the certificate running numbers. Okay, so it's indicate during the issuance of the certificate, the number of the certificate is 2022 L98. Okay, number 98 like that. And number three, of course, the address of the laboratory is also very important so that you know which laboratory is issuing the certificate for you. Okay. Number five is approved sanitary. So this approved sanitary is a competent person to verify the result. Okay. So as you can see, there's our colleague there, Mohamad there. So Dr. Muhammad Najib yang itulah. Okay, so he is the approved sanitary that approve the validity of this result. Okay, there must be approved sanitary sign it, approve it before this cert can be issued to the user. And number six is the user address, and of course the PIC, who are the one who handle the equipment must be stated there, and job number, and as well as this date received. Okay, so this job number means your equipment running numbers during our registration. Okay, for your information, if you would like to know about your equipment next time, if you send your equipment to Sirim, you just step down, just saying this job number. Okay, for example, you ask a Sirim, I would like to request a quotation for the calibration of equipment with job number KC 2022-1238-1. So we will check with you, and it is easier also because this we have a record for your equipment. And that receipt is when you send the equipment when we register your equipment. So that means the date received. And of course, the instrument name and manufacturer is important, as well as a model number and serial number. This also is very important so that we know what are the equipment that we are calibrated. Okay, so instrument condition when received. Okay, so this is other condition. So of course it is physically in good condition. Okay, so if it's not in a good condition, they will not calibrate it. Okay, so since it's good, then we proceed for calibration. Then after calibration, of course we are just give a simple report, instrument condition when report. So this also need to be specified by us, to be mentioned by us. And this here, environmental condition. Okay, so this is average environmental condition during calibration, before calibration, and after calibration. Okay, so that we need to maintain it so that the result is valid. And because of this average and temperature and humidity, we understand that, and that this all this equipment is calibrated under the good environmental condition, and it will not affect the reading of your equipment. Okay, this is very important, the very important one, calibration date and due date. As you can see here, the request calibration due date is 1 year starting from its calibration. Okay, for this case, okay, so for cerium calibration, usually we put this due date if the customer requests 1 year. For those who request for more than 1 year, we'll leave this calibration due date blank. Okay, so the reason we put this calibration due date that customer requests more than 2 years, because we do not know how frequent this user use the equipment. Okay, so should be that the more you use your equipment, the earliest you need to, the frequent you need to send it to calibration. Okay, so if let's say your management or the auditor asks, why do you want to put 2 years due date, or why this due date column is blank? Okay, you can answer them that actually this equipment is used as a reference only, used as our standard to verify our equipment. And then you prepare maybe a form saying that you use only at this date and this date, or maybe you just complete put a form there. You use it once every 2 months and once every 3 months. Then it should be no problem for you to put it your 2 years calibration due date. I mean more than 1 year calibration due date. Okay. So and 14 is calibration method. Okay. So this is the procedure that we use. So of course this procedure we update based on the changes on the circular or the industry standard. So that's why it's important that we put the revision there. So at least we all know that we always following up to date with this circular from this international standard. And this is we call traceability. Okay, so calibration standard use instrument type, serial or control number, when did we calibrate, and when did we'll due. Okay, so it's traceable to NMIM. Okay, so this user is confused. Okay, so when the auditor asks, why did the calibration due date on this number 15 is already due? Okay, so the user actually he not well aware of that. That is actually refer to our standard actually. So the customer, the users due date is actually on number 13. So don't get confused with it. Some auditor like to ask you to trick you. Okay, so there's a case where the user is actually confused, and then they did not know how to answer it, and the auditor give the NCR. I think observation is not mistaken. So because they cannot justify what is that. Okay, so be careful. Always remember that which one is your equipment due date and which one is standard due date. Okay, so and of course this is approximatory signature. So once you verify the result, then he need to sign it. Okay, this is the example of calibration result. Okay, so this is the basic detail as per front page. So I will just skip this one. And then this is number 18 is graduation. How much resolution decimal your equipment can read? Okay, it is must be stated on every equipment. Okay, and measurement uncertainty also need to be stated there. And please bear in mind there, the calibration certificate without stating any measurement uncertainty is not a calibration certificate. Thus, it is not a valid calibration certificate. So this one you need to check as well. For those who are sending the equipment for calibration, you must check whether this laboratory did stated this in your calibration certificate. Okay. And of course, the calibration range, at what range we calibrate, and type of your equipment. So for thermometer, liquid in-glass thermometer, actually there's two types. So one is total immersion, sorry, and the other one is partial immersion. Okay, so we need to state the one, the characteristic of equipment. And this is the calibration result. Okay, so as you can see, there are 4 columns there. Nominal value means the value that we set during calibration. Standard reading is our calibration reading. Test reading is the user's equipment, and the correction is how much error between our standard reading. No, correction is how much error between user's reading and the standard reading. Okay. Then, for example, there, how do you want to this apply correction? Okay, so we take this 20 degrees Celsius nominal value. The standard reading stated 20.7 degrees Celsius, while the test reading stated 20.6 degrees Celsius. And instead there, correction 0.1. Okay, so that means if you can see the notes here, you can apply that directly the correction of your equipment. So means standard reading minus test reading. So in order for you to get the accurate reading as per standard reading, so test reading, which is 20.6, must plus with correction plus 1. So that is your actual reading, and plus number 19 there, measurement uncertainty, which is 0.2. Okay, so that is your final reading. Okay, you understand? Okay, so so your final reading after you doing a correction is 20.7 plus minus 0.2, which is a measurement uncertainty. Okay, so that's is your final. So always remember that, and how no hope you understand that one. And last but not least, the person who did the calibration, and of course the person who did the calibration is a competent person as well, need to conduct calibration. So before he can conduct the operation, he also need to go for some verification for the technical management there and see is he doing good. Then we can assign him to authorize to have the calibration from the technical manager. Okay, I think that's all from me. Okay, thank you very much for your time. Okay, sorry it's take quite some time for me to. So I hope by the end of the session you will get some of information. But if you still don't do understand, let's say if the question and answer is not enough for you, maybe you, I can give the answers to the moderator, and moderator maybe can pass back to you. Okay, thank you very much. I'll pass the session to the coordinator.
Okay, thank you very much, Technology Stephen, Anna, Harry. Okay, I hope you all enjoy the amazing presentation. So now we will go ahead and take some time for questions now. Just a reminder, please be sure to type your questions in the question box in your chat box. Okay, so I'll give a few minutes before I read out the question. We have a lot of question here, technologies, Stephen. Okay. All right, so I'll read out the question lah. Okay, so we have one from Goh Kian Hui. How to confirm the originality serum sticker of the product?
Sorry,
Okay,
how to
TS.
confirm?
Hello?
How to confirm?
Can
Yes, hello.
how to confirm the originality serum sticker of the product?
Okay, so this is actually, so you're afraid there's okay, so there's the people will go print and duplicate. Okay, so usually there's a sticker number there. Okay, you can ask them. There's a barcode there, scanner. So when you scan there, actually it will be directed to us. Okay, so that's on if you are using this barcode, if you have this barcode scanner. Okay, number two, if you're not unsure that the sticker either is copycat or not, you can directly contact us. We can check whether this sticker is valid or not. For calibration, as for my experience, so far I didn't hear any case regarding this originality serum sticker, especially on calibration. But what happened the most is there's a duplication or maybe a copycat on this appliance. For example, like our plug there, our electrical appliance like home. So that case is most happening there lah. So for calibration, so far we didn't have that any case on that. All right. Or maybe Go Kian Hui, maybe you have any experience that maybe you can personally contact me because I need to assure is there any case. Then this is quite a good feedback. All right. Thank you.
Yes. All right, so we move on. We have another one also from Goh Kian Hui. How to ensure the calibrations equipment test set itself are good to be used prior perform calibration on the client's equipment test set.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, how to ensure the calibration equipment test itself? Okay, this is referring to the standard equipment that is used for calibration. Okay, if you know, if you want to know whether the test set is good or not, that's why we need the calibration. So as I mentioned just now, number one, you need to identify your measurement uncertainty. So if you can identify your measurement uncertainty, then you can see either your measurement uncertainty is actually out of its spec, which is MPE, maximum permissible error. So that's why we did calibration. We do send our equipment for calibration as well. Okay. So and our traceability is NMIM, and of course, if the equipment is out of spec, then the another lab, which is National Meteorology of Institute, did inform us that this equipment is out of spec. So if out of spec, then we cannot use again, and then we scrapped it, and we need to buy another equipment. Even if this equipment is still new, just a bought equipment, we also need to send for calibration as well, because to be honest, please don't believe on the manufacturer. Of course, the manufacturer try its best to make the equipment look very best. Okay, so they put
Yes, understand.
very small, what do you call that, very good accuracy, very small error, so that you can buy the product. So that's why after you bought your equipment, so please also send for calibration. Okay, that is the most important thing. All right, thank you.
All right, thank you. And then we have one from Technologies Lilia Arif Dato Elias. A lot of industry players still sending their equipment for calibration at non-accredited calibration laboratory. What is your comment on this matter, Technologies?
Okay. Uh, so actually, for these matters, we suggest that if you have find any accredited bodies, then it's better for you to send it for accredited bodies, because these accredited bodies is actually those who are compliant, not with Malaysian standard only, but is internationally what do you call that, recognized. Okay, so some are not accredited company is doing it cincai lah. So we have found some case where it's not very logic because this not accredited laboratory is conducting the in-lab equipment should be the equipment should be calibrated in lab, but instead they do it on site. Okay, so because of then after that they issued this accredited laboratory, non-accredited laboratory. So please bear in mind those non-accredited laboratory usually is not monitored by this what do you call that standard Malaysia. So they do not have go through the audit. They not have to go send the equipment for vacation. Maybe they have this sticker printing, just print it out and just put the user as well. So that's why it's very best for those who want to send the equipment for calibration. Please go find this accredited laboratory. Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you. Okay, I'll think there's a lot of questions, so I'll just simplify the question lah. Okay, we have one from M Iskandar at the end. I'm sorry, from A Rahman J and also Goh Kian Hui, I believe, is asking the same question. Is there any category that such equipment or devices that compulsory to be calibrated or not? Let's say a water pressure gauge, digital or manual caliper, thermostat, etc. These devices are normally be used to check the contractor work on a site. So just curious what kind of equipments that TNB sent to Sirim for calibration. So what say you?
Okay. Uh, okay, I lost a bit. Okay, maybe can you repeat the question again? Sorry.
Alright, sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so is there any category that such equipment or devices that compulsory to be calibrated or not? I think that's the question.
Okay.
What kind of equipment that need to be sent to Siri for calibration?
Okay. Number one, compulsory. Yes, for those who involved in quality and those who involved in maintenance team. I believe it's compulsory because you not only doing maintenance, not doing only a quality check, but you must also need to verify either your measurement is right or not. And of course, I cannot also say it's compulsory as well because I also don't want to say it is not a compulsory because this is still depends on this management requirement. For us, Sirim, yes, as long as there is measuring equipment, we advise you to send for calibration. That is the better way. Okay, thank you.
All right. Okay. So I think one last from Khairul Anwar bin Idris. Okay. So if measurement uncertainty is not an error for a sample of custody flow measurement, how does the flow measurement error versus uncertainty related to the billing to be invoiced or billed to customers? For example, if error of 1% at flow of 100 meter, what's this? Okay, it means the reading is within the range, but if certainty is 1%, is the same way the mathematics shall be applied?
Okay. It's quite a hard question there. Thank you very
Yes.
much. Okay. Actually, error is yes, it's very different because once you determine your measurement uncertainty is actually the doubt that you have that you do not know, while the error is actually the things that you know. So simply put, once you before you can see the error, you actually okay. No, not to say that. Okay, so you see the error. Then, if you know there's an error, then you do a calibration. Okay, so once you do a calibration, and once you have this measurement entity, then you compare back your equipment. So once you saw your equipment there, and then is there any measurement entity, then you can apply the error. You can see how much the error in it. Okay. So for this billing part, I'm not sure on that thing because it's out of uh, our beyond of our scope. So what we do is we did calibration. I think this is a very interesting question, but maybe can I get back to you later after this because I think I need to explain some more because I cannot talk to you just because we are out of time. Maybe I think I need to talk to you lah, so that you can understand better. So maybe the
Yeah,
moderator maybe can get info for me regarding this person.
sure. Sure. I'll remind the Bell on this question.
Okay.
All right. So okay. So it looks like we have covered all question. So technology Steven, is there anything else you want to cover before I wrap up?
Okay. Thank you very much for your time. And should you have sorry for those who uh, not yet to hear the answer from me. I hope moderator can pass the question and maybe I can personally answers your question. Don't worry, I'm here at Kuching. I will not go anywhere here. Okay, so we still can meet each other. If you can meet me online, you can meet me here in Kuching, the Mat Laut here, Sirim. Just Google Map Sirim, then you can find Sirim calibration. Okay, so I think that's one.
Yeah,
Thank you very much for your time. Yeah.
or maybe technology Steven can share your contact details in the chat box. I
Okay.
think
Yeah.
everyone would be pleased for that.
Okay. Right.
Okay, all right. So we move on. So as a token of appreciation on behalf of the chairman, Association of Professional Technicians and Technologies, APTT, IR Technologies Ahmad Zawawi, we would like to present the certificate to our presenter, Technology Stephen Anak Harry, for his remarkable presentation. Thank you once again, Technology Stephen and Anak Harry, for your time. All right. So before we wrap up, I would like to invite everybody to switch on your camera for our photo session. Okay? Belle, are you the one who's taking the photo?
Yes, I will take the photo. So if everyone can turn on their camera.
Yeah.
Okay. One moment, yeah. Okay. Ready? Is everyone ready? Okay, one, two, three. Okay, last one. One, two, three. All right.
All right. So thank you again, Technology Steven and Henry, for answering those questions and also for the great presentation. It was a pleasure to have you with us. Therefore, this concludes the webinar. On behalf of APTT committee members, we appreciate your presence. We hope you have learned and enjoyed this webinar. Thanks again for joining us today and we will see you again next time. Stay safe and selamat berbuka puasa. Thank you everyone.